specifically about the Aaron Chiza incident. On January 7th, 2025, one of our colleagues, Aaron Chiza, no, allow me to repeat this, Mr. Chairman. On 7th of January this year, Aaron Chiza and other defense lawyers entered the courtroom. Chiza was obstructed from accessing the bar by a court orderly. This was done in full view of the court chairman and the entire members of the panel. And Mr. Chairman, the court orderly physically assaulted Chiza, harangued him, mauled him, and was joined by other soldiers and security operatives who brutally dragged him out of the courtroom. Mr. Chairman, the General Court Martial subsequently subjected him to summary, it's not even a trial, but just sentencing. And he was whisked away and taken to Chitalia to serve a sentence of 9 months for what they allege to be an act of contempt of court, and referring to incidents that had happened earlier, not only on that fateful day, but even incidents which had happened earlier. As a defense team, we contend that this obstruction and assault were premeditated and intended to provoke Aaron Chiza and ourselves to provide the grounds for punitive action which was taken. And it was quite obvious, Mr. Chairman. We all witnessed the proceedings there as they unfolded right from the point of interception, the arrest, the dragging, the haranguing, and finally the sentencing to 9 months in total violation of not only the UPDF Act, which talks about a maximum sentence of 30 days, but also the Bill of Rights in Chapter 4 of our Constitution, which dictates in Article 28 that all accused persons are entitled to a right to a fair hearing. He was not at all heard. And despite the fact that, Mr. Chairman, under Article 44, that right is non-derogable. It's an absolute right. No circumstances should arise where one is deprived of the right to be heard. It's one of those rights which are entrenched in the Bill of Rights. The oppressive atmosphere in the courtroom has had a chilling effect on the entire legal team, and resultantly the defense law team has since shrunk to 23, down from 42. Initially we were 42, but as per the last appearance, we were only 23. Largely on account of the oppressive atmosphere in the court, or the courtroom, which is regrettable. The impact on legal representation. This incident raises serious concerns about the safety and independence of the legal practitioners in Uganda. The International Bar Association standards, the UN basic principles on the role of lawyers, and Uganda's constitution and statutory laws guarantee a lawyer's right to represent their clients without harassment, threat, or any kind of intimidation. The obstruction and imprisonment of Aaron Chiza violates these principles and jeopardizes the accused's right to legal representation by a lawyer of their choice. This is another entrenched provision within the Bill of Rights in Chapter 4, where an accused person has got a right to legal representation and to have a lawyer of his choice. Now, Mr. Chairman, that is the summary of what is happening there, and without wasting your time, permit me to proceed to the call for action. What is our request, Mr. Chairman? The continued detention of Aaron Chiza undermines the rule of law and the fundamental rights of both lawyers and their clients. We urge the Uganda Law Society, human rights organizations, and the international community, but specifically here for the request to the Uganda Law Society is as follows, Mr. Chairman. One, Mr. Chairman, to amplify the voice against these violations of not only the municipal laws, but international laws and instruments to which Uganda is a party, which Uganda has assented to. It's our humble request, Mr. Chairman, that the Law Society, as a vanguard of rule of law, should be at the forefront of defending these rights, should be at the forefront of challenging these kind of transgressions, should be at the forefront of dealing with this horrible situation. We specifically request that, Mr. Chairman, all interventions be explored to cause the immediate release of one of our own, Aaron Chiza. It is our request that we do everything possible to get justice for Aaron Chiza, who did nothing but to assert the right of an advocate to represent their clients before the General Court Martial. It was just asserting his right, his duty as a practicing advocate to represent their clients. We know there are a number of options that can be explored, Mr. Chairman, Mr. President. You'll excuse me where I come from. I've always been practicing before General Court Martial, where we have chairman. And I'm infected now, Mr. I'm worried if I go back to the civil courts, I may address the Chief Justice as Mr. Chairman, because this is really infectious. Mr. President, we believe the Law Society has capacity to cause the release of our colleague, to defend him under all circumstances. Number 3, we also request that, Mr. President, again, the Law Society comes out to offer us all the necessary protection to be able to execute our duties as lawyers before the General Court Martial. The atmosphere there is hostile. The environment is not conducive at all for dispensation of justice. If anything, Mr. President, whatever we are doing there, it's like we are escorting Dr. Kizza and the team to the gallows because the offenses they are charged with carry a maximum sentence of death. The first one under Section 128 of the UPDF Act, which is compromising security of Uganda, and the most recent one, which they added onto the charge sheet. When they amended the charge sheet, they added on the offense of treachery. Those two offenses carry a maximum sentence of death. And whatever is happening there, every application we have put up, every prayer we have made has been frowned upon. Actually, right from the time we started, right from the time they took a plea, right from inception, Mr. Chairman, that is last year, we have had occasion to appear several times, and we have made several applications. None of those applications has gone our way. We have lost all of them. A clear indication that we are indulging in an exercise in futility, that we are not actually going to receive fair trial or fair hearing there. Mr. President, our noble profession is under threat. The entire criminal justice system is being bastardized by the General Court Martial. Whatever is happening there, by the way, Mr. President, is a negation of the due process, which is well provided for in our Constitution. So, it's the reason, Mr. President, we ask for the intervention of the bar to ensure that there is fair hearing. And also, Mr. President, to stick to the position given by the traditional civil courts, particularly the Constitutional Court, that court is a disciplinary committee for serving members of the UPDF. And this is now the specific call we are making in that regard, that the radical bar, Mr. President, should be at the forefront of pursuing all available legal measures to bring to the halt the abhorrible practice of subjecting civilians to martial law. Mr. President, this practice is despicable, is reprehensible, is abhorrible. That non-serving members of UPDF, civilians, are subjected to martial law. This morning I was listening to the news, Mr. President. The whole president of South Korea has been finally arrested for attempting to institute martial law in South Korea. He's been arrested. Why are you instituting martial law? We are all candidates for court-martial action. Mr. President, personally, I'm a convict. Personally, myself, I'm a convict of the General Court Martial. And I will carry that record all through, because all options of setting that record aside have come to a naught. So throughout my lifetime, my career, until I'm interred down there, I will carry that record of being a convict of the General Court Martial. I've never been convicted by any other civilian court. The only conviction I carry is that of the General Court Martial, and it haunts me. You and members of the bar are not safe either. So, Mr. President, it's the reason we are making now, this is the final call, which sums it up all, that we do invite the radical bar, Mr. President, we do invite the radical new bar to bang tables for the rule of law to prevail. We are convinced beyond all shades of doubt that it's time to bang tables for the General Court Martial to stop this madness. Otherwise, the entire criminal justice system is going to be bastardized, distorted, and in the end, the entire rule of law will be subverted, and that will be an absurdity. So we must bring an end to this travesty which is going on before the General Court Martial, exploring all the available mechanisms within the law. We thank you, Mr. President. May God bless you. If you may permit me, Mr. President, to hand over this petition to you. If it pleases you, Mr. President, this is our petition for the request. We do so pray. Maybe prayer yoka. Tusaba, Mr. President, ne olukiiko lwo okulaba nti Uganda Law Society eweebwa obuyinza mu Uganda Law Society Act eyingira mu nsonga zino nga bwebadde ng'ejja erwanagana n'ensonga zino okumala ebbanga okulaba nti olugendo luno tuluggusa olw'okuteekawo embeera ey'obwenkanya. Mu General Court Martial gye tuli, Mr. President, teriiyo bwenkanya. Environment yonna oba embeera eriyo ya busibira mu bbwa, ya kututwaliriza tuwerekere Dr. Besigye ne munne ku kalabba, kubanga emisango gye baba baguddeko singa gibakka mu vvi etteeka ligamba gya kubatwala kalabba. So bwe tulaba ebigenda mu maaso, buli ka application konna ke tuteekayo, buli nsonga yonna gye tuteekayo bagikasuka mu kasero. Kooti ne banne bonna, chairman ne banne batutunuulira nga ffe abatalina mugaso. Ensonga zonna ze tuteekayo ez'amateeka ziziimuulwa buziimuulwa. Kakati kyatuuse ensonga zaalinnyo enkandago bwe gwajja bagidde nga Aaron Kiiza munnaffe bamukutte ne bamuyisanga ekyonziira ne batamala namuwozesa naye ne bamuteeka mu komera ekitalya okumala emyezi 9 ng'ate etteeka lya PDF Act liga nti maximum sentence eyinza kuba ya nnaku 3 nga tawozeseddwa. Kakati waliwo embeera ey'okutiisatiisa balooya. era okusooka twali balooya 42 kati we tutuukidde wano tusigadde 23 nga ttiimu y'abalooya abamu batiisiddwa abalala bakooye ne bagamba ebyo bya General Court Martial tebigasa